sweet little peoples. I hope you guys had a good day today. A very good day. Just coming on here to share with you some insights that I've gained, which I will be speaking about in the future. I think by now we all know about, I started my day considering how the manipulation efforts of narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, and the Kubark published CIA training manual, which was disclosed by leaving on a printer, align and asking, the similarities between the two, inquiring about drawing inferences between the similarities. That was number one. Got that done. Quite a few similarities existed. And then I noticed that it somehow led into the belief of the RICE, R-I-C-E, which is also a disclosed tactic used for confidential informants, working confidential informants, which I've already discussed means religion, income, coercion, or ego. One of the tenets of the we're going to break you down is taking away your ego or your belief in yourself. Tearing it down, pretty much stripping it away to kind of nothing. But, which is partially good and partially bad. No one can use it against you because you're no longer relying on it. The partially bad thing is when you get so out of balance that you forget who you are and why you should believe in yourself and the good things about you. And, it's okay to celebrate your wins and your victories, okay? Don't say so-and-so celebrating me or, my mom or my family. Go ahead and celebrate yourself and the hard work that you put in. Because, yes, after, one of the things about goal setting and attaining your goals and actualizations to your highest potential is stopping to celebrate milestones. So make sure that you're doing that. Don't be so caught up in jinxing and you don't want to accept any praise or you don't want to get caught up in the moment that you forget to celebrate. Like, hey, I have made quite a few strides in this area and I'm proud to me. That's what I say to myself. I am proud to me because old me would have smacked somebody by now. But, balance me is doing a lot better. So I celebrate me on the smallest wins. Anyhow, number two. That's number one. I usually go to number three, so let me keep with my counting system and go to number three. Number three, how that relates to the larger picture of the hemisphere. And I asked for a summary and analysis of the hemisphere document, which was also released. And it talked about the feeling of being at 21, reincarnating and being at 21 and being stuck and having to, I don't know if they call it phase or whatever this or phase that, and phasing matter back into forcing this and that back into another holding pattern and finding a body and I think I had a question about disembodied spirits for OBEs and finding a new body for them. But they all related to the the simulation theory posited by the gateway hemisync process, which was used by intelligence agencies, and its agents were trained in remote viewing and Monroe Institutes and things like that. I think they had been trying to garner a level of scientific support from a level of credentialing and support from the scientific community, which has not been earned because the science doesn't support. Number one, because they treat it as panpsychism because the results aren't terribly reliable, number one. And number one, the results aren't terribly reliable. And number two, or repeatable, statistically repeatable. And number two, the framework that it relies on is not even feasible in physics. If the body is a crystal and a hologram, it doesn't add up. If the body, under the hologram principle, if the body is a crystal, you can't phase through. Crystal can't, because it's matter, it would require an electronic charge to be able to pass through and phase through another object, which doesn't exist in a body, especially not a crystallized body or a matter, period. We don't exist on those terms. Physiologically, holographically, none of those things make sense, because the holographic principle relies on matter being a frequency, first of all, rather than a solid state. And then in another spot, the science carries us over into a crystallized state, and it just don't follow. The logic does not follow. So the premise is wrong, and it's not usable science. It is a mere suggestion, which you do not have to follow. And it is not a repeatable, scientifically acceptable experiment. And that's what I wanted to talk about briefly. The glitching that we have all been experiencing is a misalignment of ideas that don't connect in actuality, in reality. So many people are waking up to reality and snapping back to reality from the self-deluded beliefs, because it doesn't work. It doesn't hold. The logic doesn't hold. That's probably what we've been experiencing as a whole. Like the awakening to that, the slow acceptance and awakening to that fact. But it has been an interesting thought experiment. And I guess, a snake oil salesman can get somebody to buy his product. A good salesman will get somebody to buy his product, whether it works or not. And if you don't ask me, ask the shopping channel, because they got receipts. All right. I'm just saying you don't have to follow it. All right. Have a good night.